Right, we're going over I'm going to do 4 problems from the midterm, the most commonly missed problems. It's not helpful to take a test, get a problem wrong, and never learn what you did wrong. Number 15 is the first one we're going to do. I would say almost everybody in the class missed this one. So look carefully while I do this and see if you can figure out where you don't understand and maybe learn where you made your mistake. So this one says expand, write all your answers with positive exponents. It also says use the distributive property. So we know the distributive property means we're going to take this term times this. Let me change my color there. This term times this one, and this term times this one. And we do some of this in our head at this point, so we don't need to write this beside this beside this. We're going to do that in our head. So here we go. I'm going to make sure I have that right. This should be a -2 right here. So we're going to use the distributive property. So we're going to get minus d to the -2 d squared is d to the 0 power. See that? You're adding exponents. When you multiply, you add your exponents. Then we have d to the -2 times, well, this is all one term. So we're going to get these two, and then we're going to get b to the 4th. We only add the exponents on same variables. And then on the bottom, there's a 1 down here, so we're going to get b to the 4th. So we'll leave that as like that for now. We'll come back to that. That one's not simplified. You shouldn't have same letters in the numerator and the denominator. If you do, that means it's not totally simplified. Okay, let's move on to the next term. We have a minus and a minus. So 2 negatives make a positive. So that term turns positive. So we have d to the -2, d to the 2. Again, we have the same variables, so we add the exponents. So we get d to the 0. On the bottom, however, we have b to the 4th times b to the -3rd power. Same variables, so we add our exponents, and we just get 1. So it's going to be b to the 1, and usually we don't write the 1. It's assumed. Okay, next term, we have a negative times a negative, which would be a positive. We have a 4, so we put that in front. We have a d to the -2, a d to the -2. We add our exponents when we multiply when the bases are the same. So we're going to get d to the -4. And then on the bottom, we have a b to the 4th and a b to the 4th. So we get b to the 8th. Okay, first step, all we did was distribute. Now we're going to clean up each term. We have 3 terms. Terms are separated by plus and minus signs. So we know d to the 0 power is just 1. So we have 1 times b to the 4th. However, we have a b to the 4th in the numerator and a b to the 4th in the denominator, so they cancel each other out. Doesn't mean you have 0. This would go in 1 time. This goes into itself 1 time. So we have -1 as our first term. Let's go to the next one. This one, d to the 0, is the same as 1. And we have this exponent's already positive, so we're going to leave it positive because they want us to have all positive exponents. So it's 1 over b to the 1st power. Finally, we just have to clean up the last term. They want all the exponents to be positive. So we need to bring this exponent down to the bottom so that we have positive exponents. So let me just check and make sure I'm getting the right answer here. Yep. So we get 4 over b to the 8th, d to the 4th. That's your final answer. Hopefully that all made sense to you. If not, watch it over again. Make sure you get it because this one was missed by a lot of people. It's simply adding exponents with like bases and moving negative and positive exponents around. Okay, this one here was commonly missed too. I think mostly because of making silly mistakes. The only problem is I didn't save myself enough room to do the problem. So I'm going to start over here. The first thing we notice is we have parentheses. This is just one term on the top because there's no plus or minus signs separating the letters. That means these are all multiplied together. And if variables are multiplied together, we have to, first of all, we have to do the power to power rule. And then once we do power to power rule, if they're multiplied together, we add the exponents on the like bases. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and do the power to power rule. We have that right here. We have a power to power. We have a power to the power there. We have a power to a power here and here. So I'm going to do all those first. Oops, I forgot the 2. So here we go. We get a squared, y to the minus 2. At this point, see that 0 to the 0? Since they're all multiplied together, this is just going to be 1, and 1 times anything is just itself. So we can just cross that out. Okay, here we go. Power to power rule. A to the negative 2 to the negative 2. When you have a power to a power, you multiply your exponents. So we're going to get a to the 4th. And here again, this y is the same as 1, so you can just eliminate that. It's still there, it's a 1, but a to the negative 2 times 1 is just a to the negative 2. Okay, let's keep going. A, we're just doing the power to the power rule pretty much in this first step. Y to the 3rd. Here we go. Negative 2 to the second power. Power to power. So it's going to be z to the minus 4. So we kind of cleaned up the numerator a little bit, did all our power to power things. Let's just draw our line here. A to the 0. Since they're multiplied together, if this would have been added, if we would have had a plus right there, we wouldn't want to just cross that out. But since it's 1 times something, it's not going to change the value. So I'm just going to cross this one out. That happens right here. We have y to the negative 3 to the 0, so it'd be y to the 0. I'm just going to cross that out because it's going to be 1. Now we have our a, our z. A to the negative 1 to the negative 2 is a squared. Y to the negative 2. Alright, let me see. Do they want exponents negative or positive in this one? This is number 17. They just say, write all exponents positive. Okay, so now we just have to combine the like ones on the top, combine the like ones on the bottom. So we do all our a's. A squared, a to the 4th, a to the 1st. So we have no more power to power. We're just multiplying like bases you add. So it's 2, 6, 7. A to the 7th. Now let's do our y's. We have y to the negative 2 and 3 will give us just 1. And then we have our z to the negative 4. I think we got everything. Hopefully I'll get the right answer with this. Alright, the bottom. A to the 1st, a to the 2nd is a to the 3rd. We don't have any more y's. And we have z. You're not done yet. Next thing that you need to do is, remember what I said, if you have a's in the numerator and a's in the denominator, it means it's not simplified enough. So we need to simplify now. So here we go. We have to make them all positive, so we have 7 a's up here and 3 down here, so that's going to give us 4 in the numerator. We're going to need to bring our y up because it's negative. So we're going to get y, we're going to bring 2 up, there's already 1 there, so y to the 3rd. And then we're going to have to bring our z down. So we're going to get z, we have 1 down here, when we bring this one down, it's going to be positive, so we have z to the 5th. So let me just check to make sure that I got that one right too. A to the 4th, y to the z to the 5th. So hopefully you get that. I'm not sure what you guys, it's a tricky one, it's easy to make a mistake. So that's that one. Okay, let's move on. I have number 20 next. I don't think one person got number 20 right. You're supposed to find the surface area of this figure. So, surface area. I think I had a paper here with something written down. That disappeared. Oh well, I'll just do it from scratch. It's not that hard. Okay, so we're going to find the area of our bases. Take that times 2, and then we're going to find the area of all the sides. So let's get the area of our base first. So right here, come on, pen. Right here we have, if you divide it, it's copied this, took a picture off of someone's test. If you divide this up, you can get a rectangle and a triangle. There's other ways to divide it, but this way works really good. So let's do the area of the rectangle would be, and this is 3 up here, so this is 3 down here. So it's going to be 24. So we're going to get 24. That's this area. And then we're going to do our triangle. If this is 3 and this whole thing's 9, then we get a 6 right here. So, and this, if this is 8, this is going to be 8. So the area of this part is just going to be 1/2 the triangle, right? 6 times 8. So that would also be 24. So each of these bases, this base right here is 48, is 48. And this base down here is 48. Because this turns out to be 24. Don't mind the weird noises in the background. Okay, now we have to find the surface area of all the sides. So, the height, let's keep in mind that the height is 11. So we have our different sides. We have one side is 8, this one's 9, and the one down here is going to be 10, and the one back here is going to be 3. So we're going to find the surface area of all of these. So we get the surface area, let's just call this one right here, this darker one. It would be 8, the height is 11. So that one's 88. The next one will be 9 times 11 is 99. The next one is 10 times 11, and that would be 110. And finally, the one, you can't see, it's this little one, this little piece, it would be 3 times 11, and that gives us 33. If we add these all up, I'm going to use my calculator here. If we add those all up, we should get that they equal 330 feet. Another way you can do this is you can just take and add the 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 3, add that together, and then take it times 11. And then you add to that our 248, which would be 96, and we would get the whole area, surface area, is 426 feet squared. This is feet squared too. These are all squared. Remember, area is squared. Okay, last problem. This one wasn't too bad, but it caught enough of you that I'm going to do it. Okay, this one. This is actually a fraction. It doesn't look like it, but we have w over y squared z. So we're going, in order to add these together, you have to make them into a fraction. And then this one's going to be y over x cubed z. All I did was I moved the ones with negative exponents in the denominator. Now it's a fraction and we need to add them together. So we find the common denominator of this. I just want to see what the directions say. It says add. Write your answers with all exponents positive. So our common denominator is we need an x cubed. We need a y squared. And we need a z. We need one of everybody. This needs to be all present in this denominator, and this denominator needs to be all present in this denominator. Then we see what's missing. Remember that? This one is missing the x cubed. So we have to take it times the numerator. This term is missing the y squared. So we have to put that in the numerator. So we're going to get hold on a second, make sure everything's going well. So we're going to get w, let me leave him back, w x to the third plus y to the fourth. And that is, it should be y to the third. No, this should be y squared. I knew I wouldn't make it through here without a mistake. So this is y to the third. And this should be y squared. Okay, hoops, I didn't mean to cross that out. Hopefully that will help you so that you can learn how to do that and then not make these mistakes again. Alright, if you have any questions, I know you don't have your midterms to even know if you missed it, but it would be good for you to just look at those again. After your test back, you can ask me individually which ones you want to see. That's it.